Okay, nothing at the back of us.
You're one of Ambassador Reala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You can send messages, talk to them on the comm. We'll even arrange a visit.
You get it. All right. I'm in.
Duh. Okay, next closest missions. Just ahead of us.
Good to be back here. Ready to hit those scans?
What am I looking for?
Moran called out supplies that may have useful properties for our tech. Just need to get Sam's eye on them. Take a stroll. Nav sent.
Welcome back.
That's all for now.
We'll come back anytime.
Do you work on water filtration here?
I designed the system for it.
Can you sell me an ionic filter? My people need it on Eladin.
If they're tough enough for Eladin, they deserve help. Here.
One inside here.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ease off. I'm here to help. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Reala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a cat. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
Sounds like there's more to this. Don't suppose you caught his name?
Didn't ask, didn't want it, didn't need it. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters. See if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
Jeez, rude.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
They wouldn't let me on Aya if I was a walking petri dish, would they?
You aren't taking this seriously enough to satisfy my family. I can't go without their blessing. I'm sorry.
That went bad.
That figure really is something.
Oh, it's you. I watched you land.
Hope you're not calling me it anymore.
You heard that. I apologize. I was ignorant.
What's your job around here?
Aelin and I help Avela with her studies. I specialize in restoration.
So you make relics look new?
Do as I can. I'm not a miracle worker, no matter what Avela says. She'll praise Ellen and I to anyone who will listen. Never had a supervisor like that before.
I'll leave you to it.
I've heard so much about you. Is it true you entered a vault on Eos?
Sure is.
Amazing. I would have liked to see that.
Are you a relic hunter like Avela?
Actually, I started as an engineer. The Moesha requested my help cracking encryption on a remnant ship she found. Eventually, that led me to the repository. I've been handling data encryption here ever since.
I take it you help run this place.
Nalan and I are Avela's assistants. It's been strange getting used to that.
Why?
So much
Avela's
talking.
much younger than the previous curator. She has a lot more energy. Sometimes I have to remind her to take a break. She's too passionate for her own good.
I'll let you get back to it. Getting acquainted with our new neighbors?
Sort of. All this stuff. The Angara sure do have a rich culture and blah, blah, blah.
She's drunk.
You're sauced, aren't you? What's your poison?
I visited that cafe the Angara consider a bar. Asked for their hardest stuff. It was weird, which I like, but had almost no punch. Lightweight. Whoa.
Steady now.
That stuff must have a slow absorption rate. Whoops. Oh, writer. It's just... This museum reminds me of being on Haitiana during my indentured service as a student. They even have a whole section on the Remnant. I didn't come to Andromeda to follow in someone else's footsteps.
Don't worry, PB. The Angara barely have a foothold. Sure, they live among the ruins, but they haven't seen what we've already seen.
You might have a point there. Bet nobody here has ever outrun an ancient vault purification field, huh?
Nope.
Or spat in that Archon's ugly mug and lived to talk about it? That was nice work, by the way.
Thank you.
You're right. Not sure why, but ever since I packed up my apartment on the Nexus, something's crawled under my skin. But whatever it is, I promise, I'll get over it lickety-split.
Be sure you do. You're a handful, even sober.
You can handle me, Ryder, whenever you want. I think I'll stay in your operation a little while longer. I love seeing our Milky Way peeps mingling with the Angara. It's early in our interspecies relationship, but I hope we can build on the momentum.
Any one of a million things could happen, and whoops, the neighbors hate us.
So, don't go joyriding with the Nomad, huh? Obey the street signs? You're doing a great job, really. Keep up the good work.
If should have come to me.
Axel, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's he doing here?
Relax. I was invited.
So it's true. Aya has opened its doors to outsiders.
Axel, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. He risked his life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I don't condone what happened on Kadara, but one bad experience doesn't define an entire species.
Your kind has a history of treating each other unfairly. Just ask the Krogan.
How did you...
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Axel... He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
There's still time to bring him around.
I want to believe that, but his hatred towards aliens...
I'll prove we can be trusted.
I hope so.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
I found the device Ven was using to communicate with the Archon. I think we can use it to triangulate that Ket flagship's nav point.
All you have to do now is board it, steal the Meridian artifact, and escape in one piece.
When you put it like that, it doesn't sound so impossible.
Don't make light. You're venturing to a place of horrors you cannot imagine. No one has attempted anything like this before. For all our sakes, you must succeed. Now it's my turn. Evra informed me that the despot of Kadara Port, one of your people, executed Ven Terev.
Sloane isn't with my people, and she doesn't speak for us.
Her actions spoke loud enough. She had no right to kill Ven. What he did was inexcusable, not unforgivable. This isn't what I wanted. Regardless, it's done.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about me intrigues you?
You're an expert on several topics. Remnant, Ket, stuff I don't even know exists.
All true. Why? Do you want to be my student?
Is that an option? Because I didn't train for this job. At all.
Yet you do it well. There are two kinds of knowing. What we take in from the universe, and what's already inside us. You have the essentials figured out. The rest you can learn as you go.
Are you originally from Aya, or someplace else?
I was born on a research vessel in deep space. My parents were explorers. They never stayed in one place long. My own work has taken me to every world, many times over. They all try to claim me as their own, but if I'm honest, my favorite chair is here.
You and my crewmate have a close relationship. Any advice? Hints?
He talks in his sleep. Worth it for the look on your face. Kjar is a dear and hopeless former student. He has a good spirit. You're lucky to have him, that's all.
What are you working on these days?
I thought being a Ket prisoner was the worst fate imaginable. Then I got home and saw my backlog. Avela comes in every so often asking if I have a second. At this rate, I'll never catch up. To answer your question, I'm busy with everything and nothing. We'll see which wins.
My translator doesn't know what to do with your title, Moesha.
Because it isn't a title, it's a reference. People from mythological times, before the Scourge. Legends say we once had many Moesha. Master inventors of unfailing wisdom, guided by boundless compassion.
That's a lot to live up to.
It's nonsense. Don't remember who first called me Moesha, but I do recall telling them to shut up. To my regret, the name stuck. I've minded less lately. Being the Moesha has its uses.
Any ideas on how we stop the Ket for good?
The real question is, how do we define victory over them? Complete eradication? Unlikely, costly, and morally dubious. Drive them away? How? What stops them from returning?
Peaceful coexistence doesn't seem to be an option.
There's much we still don't know. The Ket are not a simple problem. We can't reduce them to a simple solution.
When the Ket are gone, if we fix all these worlds, what do the Angara want?
Depends who you ask. We're individuals. Paran will continue spreading hope and optimism. I don't know what Ephra will do without an enemy to fight. Retirement won't suit him. As for me, maybe I'll just fade away. That's what people do when they're no longer needed, right?
That's a very interesting conversation.
Thank you, Moesha.
Ishare. Ephra informed me that the despot of Kadara Port, one of your people, executed Ven Terev.
Sloan isn't...
Regardless, it's done.
Thank you, Moesha.
Ishare.
Still so many small missions.
Pathfinder, did you make it to Hervarl?
I found this Angaran helmet. Does it mean anything to you?
This is a pre-Dark Age design. Do you see the black marks? The Scourge targeted this pilot's ship. Stars, it's perfectly preserved. I can almost imagine the pilot. He must have been so afraid. I've never seen one of these intact. Do you know how rare this is? I can't even begin to repay you.
If it helps you piece your history together, that's all I need.
It does help. You have no idea how much. You know, Pathfinder, this gets me thinking. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even know that helmet existed. What if that's not all we're missing? There could be a wealth of history just out of our reach. So, I'm requesting your help again.
For you? Anything.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't like the sound of that. I've led digs on every Angaran homeworld, but there are places I've missed, areas only a Pathfinder could go. There could be relics sitting untouched for centuries because no one could reach them. What I ask is this: if you ever find yourself in an area like that, you keep an eye out for artifacts.
I already found one. Take a look at this.
This is unfamiliar to me. It does resemble an Angara, but it looks so strange. It's clearly centuries old. Is it an artistic interpretation, or is this what we really look like? The implications. Pathfinder, you may have discovered our earliest artifact yet.
Does that win me any points?
I'd say you're getting there.
Any insight you can give me on the remnant tech?
We don't know much. To our understanding, it's always been here. Stars. I would love to be the one to solve that mystery.
This is quite a place.
It feels like home to me. Sometimes I think I should move in here. But it's got a long way to go. Someday we'll fill it with relics of the past, each one telling a story. And my people will come here to learn. And to remember.
You'll get there.
With enough hard work, yes.
You said the helmet was touched by the Scourge. What does that mean?
I forget your people weren't around for that. When the Scourge appeared, it targeted remnant ships, broke down their technology. With the drive cores disabled...
The ships crashed.
But that may not be all. The Scourge leaves a mark on whatever it touches. If it touched this helmet, perhaps the pilot was the target. There may be remnant tech inside the helmet.
Or in the pilot.
Storms. I hadn't even thought of that.
Is it normal for someone as young as you to be in charge?
I'm no younger than you. And you're a Pathfinder.
I kinda inherited the job.
So did I. I was apprenticed to the former curator. It was my job to bring him artifacts from other worlds. When he retired, I sort of fell into his position.
Do you miss relic hunting?
Some days, but mostly I'm happy to spend more time with each piece.
Have you always been into history?
Oh yes. When I was young, I would dig up shells and pretend they were ancient armor pieces. I've always had a big imagination. With only 14 siblings, I got lonely sometimes.
14? That's insane.
Why? How many do you have?
Just the one.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels. Pavoa, I'm glad they finally let you into the city. You deserve it. This is Aya's Cultural Museum and History Archive. It's small, but you've already made it brighter.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels.
No entering the med center until you're clean.
How do I decontaminate?
Ion console. Touch the start pad, it does the rest.
You're not supposed to be here.
Lieta? You're tough to track down.
How do you know my name? What do you want?
Rorik was worried about you. He sent me to give you this cryo bracelet.
I don't want it. Take it away. I want nothing to do with Rorik. With any of you.
You've been through a lot, haven't you?
You wouldn't want to hear about it.
Try me.
I was dumped by scavengers. Outsiders who left me for dead. I thought I could come to Aya and feel safe with my people. Forget what happened. And now you're here. Seems like no matter where I go, I can't escape outsiders. All of you need to just go away and leave me alone.
You were jumped by scavengers?
On Eladon. They said they had salvage to sell. I was stupid enough to follow them. Once we were alone, they attacked. Left me for dead. Took my ship and flew off-world.
How did you get back?
I walked. 3 hours on the dunes, with a few broken ribs. Rode back to Kadara with another salvager.
I thought Aya wouldn't take anyone from Kadara.
They don't. I told them what happened and they welcomed me. Ephra took me in. He says I'm a fighter. Resistance material. I spent so long wanting more than what Angara worlds could give me. I was wrong.
I can't change your mind if that's how you really feel.
It is.
So I should tell Rorik you aren't coming back.
No, don't. He'd blame himself if he knew what happened. It's your choice, but think about it.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Turn on notifications to see when and what I upload next. And as always, have fun.